I know how my teachers love teaching when they're very excited about what they're about to teach, and they have everything prepared and they're very energetic. So
I know when my teachers love teaching because it's when they smile and I can see that they enjoy their job when they are teaching, and maybe when there's those play days to where some kids have to work on missing work, and I know that the teachers care about us whenever they're making us do work that we are missing because they care about us for passing the grade.
I know my teachers love teaching because they are willing to do more, and you can see if they don't want to be there by not doing enough.
So a lot of times whenever they're willing to answer the questions that we have, and when they spend more time explaining the activity we're going to do, is a lot of times when we figure out if they love teaching.
Well, I mean, you can really just tell by, their appearance and how they look and how engaged they are and how much they enjoy the lesson and how well they can answer your questions.
I know when my teachers love teaching when they're getting active in the lesson and they're doing stuff with us. They're not just sitting at their desk and grading papers. They're actually going through the stuff with us.
I know my teacher loves teaching whenever they're really engaged in what they're doing, and they help the kids whenever they're struggling and stuff, and they're not just sitting around doing nothing, and if a student raises their hand and is confused or something, then they'll automatically go over there and help them.
Is that my teacher? She always smiles whenever I walk into the room, and then she's really easy to talk to, and she helps me and with all the works and stuff.
So I know when my teachers love to teach is when they come in and they're really excited to be there, and they're always in a good mood, and say we're asking questions and we're really curious about what we're learning about. They want to answer the questions, and they want to be engaged with us, and they want to talk to us, and they're not just sitting at their desk, but they're out walking around in the classroom, and they're interested in what we're interested in, and they really are just paying attention to each of what each student needs, and that they're there for each of us when we're learning.
I know when teachers are prepared for their lesson when they're they have a lot of stuff for us to do. They might have a lot of papers for us to do, and they might have they're really energetic too because they love teaching that when they have a lot of stuff prepared, because they'll have projects and activities for us to do.
I know my teachers are prepared for the lesson whenever you walk in for the day or just into the class, because they have the instructions on the whiteboard and they're expecting us to do what they say, and they'll have maybe some paper on the back counter, and that way they know what we are going to do. And
I know my teachers are prepared they're prepared for class because they know what they're doing and they don't make it up as they go along.
So if we know that they're prepared, is it if they start on time, or if they have the papers we're going to be doing ready, or if they're ready to answer the questions that we have?
Okay, so usually when they have bell work on the screen and they already have papers set out in piles for us to pick up, and they're hey, pick that up, and they're waiting for us at the door, and as soon as we're done with bell work, she's already telling us what to do and how to do it.
I know my teacher's prepared because he or she will they'll have they won't have notes. That way they'll just be reading, and they'll they won't stutter like I am right now, and they know what they're talking about, and they don't just make up a bunch of stuff, and yeah.
I know when my teacher's prepared for the lesson, like Ms. Guzman, she'll have everything laid out on the center lab table, and all the materials are there, color pencils, whatever we need, index cards, that kind of stuff. And that's when I know that she's really ready for us to learn about the lesson.
My teacher, she has this folder, it's really big, and she checks everything off whenever she's done with that lesson, so she's organized and she knows that she's finished with that lesson, she can move on.
So I know when my teachers are prepared for the lessons is like a lot of the time we have something called like success criteria, which I'm sure all of the teachers know about, but that's when it's like written on the board. And when I know like if a teacher's prepared for the lesson they're going to teach that day is if they have like what we're supposed to be learning on the board, and they come in and they have like bell work and they have a layout of what we're going to do, and they have like an agenda, I guess you could say, and they like know exactly what we're going to be learning, and they have it all planned out for us so it's not stressful for the students, and they're just prepared for what they're going to teach.